Hi everyone. I have now been on YouTube for about 4 to 6 weeks, and to be honest, things are not going as well as I have hoped. The first episode went really well, and then everything started going a bit downhill from there. But that's okay, I think for me, it's about being patient and taking the time and actually just consistently showing up, which is what I'm doing now. And in the spirit of documenting my journey, I'm just going to be sharing where I'm at with it. And I actually also had an epiphany about where potentially I want to take it and where I want to go. And I think, yeah, this channel is really about documenting not just my YouTube journey to building into it something successful, but also documenting my journey to become a successful impact filmmaker, living a life of purpose aligned with my values, and be able to do it in a financially sustainable way as well, which is totally possible, following our dreams and making it financially viable. I've been doing it for the last 7 years, so it's definitely possible. But now, if you don't know, I've come back to Sydney recently, and I was living in other places before where cost of living's a lot lower. So now I'm just really here documenting how this could still work in a place where things are a lot more expensive, let's just say. But anyway, that's not what this video or this episode's about. I really wanted to jump on here to share a bit of an epiphany that I had over the last couple of days. And what that is I feel like where I want to take my YouTube channel now is pivot a little bit, still kind of following the track about following our dreams and purpose, living a purpose-led life, and figuring out how to do it sustainably. But I have this idea around art being therapy and art being a way to make an impact, not just on our lives, but in the lives of other people as well. Where this came to me was I recently watched a amazing kind of story documentary, mini doc, let's say a short doc, titled You're Too Sensitive by Dan Chen, and I really resonated with it. I'll share the link here that you guys can have a look at. But I then also subsequently listened to a podcast done by John Bagel of the Nourish community. Nourish community is actually a community of filmmakers that are heart-led, that are value-driven, that we can go into this community and share our vulnerabilities, and that's very welcome, and talk about not just the technical side of filmmaking, but more importantly, the emotional side of filmmaking. So, in this podcast, Dan actually shared a lot about, and so did John actually, they talked about this theme of using art as therapy. What art really is, to me, is about creating meaning out of things that happen in our lives, things that are surrounding us, the emotions that we feel, and putting our creative spin on it or expressing it through our creative medium. For me, it's film, but some people write songs about their breakups, and other people paint their feelings. So really, in to kind of put it in a nutshell, art to me is therapy, right? Because it's a way for us to express our emotions in a way that we can put meaning to it. And through that process, it becomes therapeutic and cathartic for us. And what's really cool is that we can then put it out into the world and hopefully also inspire other people as well, or make an impact in other people as well, because we all feel the same things, right? We all understand what fear, joy, happiness, sadness, like all these universal feelings, even though we come from different places, have different experiences, different backgrounds, different ways of interpreting things, we all know what these feelings feel like. And that's really how we can connect with each other. So I really believe that art has, even through the ages, the biggest motivation for art for artists is to use it in a way to make meaning out of their emotions and feelings and things that happen in their lives, and then express it in a creative way. So for me, what I thought I could kind of focus on or pivot this channel a little bit on is create more of these films that I've already been making over the last couple of years, about things that come up in my life, whether it's going through a breakup or um, right now I'm feeling quite a bit of vulnerability around my sensitivity. There's this whole thing about, being too sensitive. And for me, I don't want to change myself to become someone different or show a version of me that isn't authentically me. That's one thing. And then the second thing is I also believe that my sensitivity is my superpower. It helps me to do the work that I do in the most profound and powerful way, because um, I put so much of myself into my work, and I believe that is what makes me unique. And the most powerful work that I've ever done is through my own sensitivity. If I can't feel things, then I can't really um, do my best work, let's say. But I'll make a different video about that topic. Um, so coming back to where I want to go with this is I'm constantly having these major themes that come up, whether it's like being patient or like taking time and, being present, or vulnerability, or, sensitivities. There's a lot of things that always come up around me throughout my life, but especially in this period where it's quite a transitional period. And I want to somehow create kind of um, episodic episodes. I'm not sure if that's the right way to put it, but I think you get what I mean. But putting content out there that's kind of in this like mini film, short film kind of format that speak to my reflection, and also how I'm processing or what I'm going through in these moments and the feelings that I'm feeling, but doing it in a way that's visually rich and has a story structure that gets put into it. And ultimately, what I love to do is also share how I do it, and if there are people who want to learn from it, I could also teach that in a way, and hopefully maybe even create a business out of it. Because ultimately, for me, to be honest, YouTube is ultimate goal is, yes, is to create a community of like minds and connect with you guys all, but also create some sort of income so then I can fund the work that I do. And the work that I do is working with nonprofits and purpose-led businesses that sometimes don't have a lot of money or don't have any money at all. And I do pro bono projects for them. I would love to continue doing those pro bono projects through different sources of income that I get elsewhere, such as building this YouTube channel to potentially support my ultimate goal of following my purpose, to do more pro bono work, and to alleviate world's problems through film and story telling. Wow, that was a bit of a mouthful, but I hope that resonates with you as well. Okay, so yeah, so it'd be really cool if I could kind of make this work and also share it with you guys, and also teach, how it can be done. I also wanted to share where this all started. Last week, I decided to post a short film I did. It was only 1 minute long, but I made it for my ex partner, actually for Valentine's Day. Last week was Valentine's Day, but I did it last year. And yeah, it was like kind of like what would call a modern day love letter. It was definitely coming from a place of joy and happiness. I felt love, and based on that feeling, and I wrote a kind of poem around it and created what I would call visual poetry. I filmed some footage while we were in Thailand, and I kind of matched the footage that I shot with the poem that I wrote, that resonated with something that we were both kind of going through, and things that she had said to me. Um, I really enjoyed doing it. It was super fulfilling. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Art is a way to express something going on in our lives at that point, and then making something creative and expressing it into the world. So that was great. But not long after that, I we actually broke up. So that wasn't so great. It was quite a sad and a little bit of a traumatic breakup. But after kind of being on my hard drive for a year, I decided I wanted to put it out into the world. Um, and I did, and that was actually quite vulnerable, to make that decision to hit post, because I wasn't sure how it would be received, by people out there, because I'm really putting my heart on my sleeve. I'm putting, how I feel and my emotions out there, and that feels really raw and feels really vulnerable. Even though I'm very open to vulnerability, and I can connect it to really well, but to actually do it even continually after so long, it still feels very raw and a bit awkward and very vulnerable. So anyway, I decided to do it, and there was a lot of great response. People really felt what I was putting into this film, and I'll share this film here with you guys so you can check it out as well. Um, and yeah, I'm glad I did it because people saw it, and they saw me, and they saw what I did, and they felt it. And it actually made some sort of impact in their lives, right? Whether it's inspired them or put a smile on their face or made them feel something. It doesn't really matter, Just I think if I can incite any sort of emotion, then I'm happy, and I feel like I've in a way done my job. So yeah, that's actually where this whole idea of art as therapy and art as a way to create meaning of life in life came about, because I started thinking about how going through this process, and even just talking to it with you guys now, is also very I'm also processing everything, right? So it's all kind of very therapeutic, and kind of reflecting on the vulnerabilities of it. So that's actually where it kind of originated, through that process of putting this art out there, and putting my feelings out there. It kind of helped me resolve that kind of vulnerability, because when I put it out there, if it was received well and I got good feedback, so that kind of gives you a positive reinforcement that people I it's okay to be vulnerable. People do connect with it, and it's not for everyone, but you don't want to be everything to everyone anyway, right? You want to basically mean something to the people who matter and people who care. And that's it. So, the other thing that I've thought about is how art can be of impact, or art and creativity as impact, right? Before I talked about art and creativity as uh, therapy, but art and creativity can also be of impact. Before, I think impact meant that it was impacting specifically our lives because it's kind of in a way therapeutic, but also how art and creativity can be used to impact the world around us and make the world a better place. For the last 3+ years, I've heavily focused on creating or working with nonprofits, doing a lot of pro bono work, and also starting my own pro bono projects to alleviate poverty through film and storytelling, and to bring more equality into the world through these skills that I have. And I have experience in that, right? So what I would like to do is to share more of that experience and to cultivate a community via YouTube of like minds, people who are seeking purpose in their lives. And there is so many of us out there, especially people who are in their late 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, in their 40s, kind of having that, what some people call the midlife crisis, some people call it the midlife awakening. Let's even call it midlife or life reinvention. It doesn't really matter. We all go through these points in our lives where we feel like a shift needs to be done. We wake up and we're like, something needs to change. We don't know exactly what it is, but a lot has to do with, especially in this kind of midlife range, is a lot to do with purpose and finding fulfillment in fulfilling our own purpose and understanding what is our purpose in the first place. And I believe that filmmaking and art and creativity can be a tool to access that. For myself, I went through this 7-year journey. If you haven't seen my original video where I talked a little bit about my story, I'll post it here, which you guys can check it out. But in a nutshell, I had major burnout in 2016. I left. I was living in New York at the time, and in 2016, I quit my job, sold everything, and packed everything into a backpack and went on a 7-year journey, spiritual and nomadic journey around the world, basically freeing and seeing myself and finding myself. And that's where I found my purpose in creating impact through storytelling and film. And this is what's led me to do the work that I'm doing now. And I believe that through these experiences, I would love to share more of how I do that and in different ways that I use film and storytelling, from techniques and kind of the processes to getting this work out there and actually making an impact in the world and sharing my own experiences as I continue to do this in a bigger way. I would love to cultivate a community around this and maybe empower an army of people who are seeking tools and wanting to find purpose in their lives, and showing you and teaching you how you could, even with just an iPhone, how you could make a 1-minute mini documentary that can be spread to millions of people, that can be seen by many, many people, just putting it on Instagram and going to your local, nonprofit that doesn't have money and just saying, hey, I've got this skill of, very easily one day, I could shoot it, create a mini doc for you just on my iPhone, and then post it in a way that will engage and create emotion and ultimately help them reach their goals of whether it's raising awareness for what they do, or get some donations, or getting more volunteers, or whatever it is that their goals are. I could share how I do that and, yeah, again, teach those methodologies and techniques through much years of experience that I've had around it. So I now kind of want to pivot my YouTube channel into one cultivating and creating a community of like minds who are wanting to use art and creativity, and learn the tools through art and creativity to create impact in the world, and also use it in a way to um, be therapeutic, or help express what's going on inside them and what's happening in their lives, and do it in beautiful and creative ways, and putting it out there, and sharing it with the world, and it becomes therapy, and it also becomes impact, because you're impacting others who may resonate with that, and you're sharing and putting yourself out there, and then also doing it in an altruistic way to work with organizations and nonprofits, who will use your skills, can use your skills to go and be able to do more of the work that they do. So that's kind of where I want to take YouTube. Of course, I'll still continue documenting this thread of my life, because I am, building my impact filmmaking business, and it's going pretty well actually at the moment. I've started about 6 months ago, but in the last couple of months, it's really picked up. But I want to document the highs and lows of how that is, so you could also see in real time what I'm going through to make this as a business and make it sustainable as well. But also sharing my processes of how I do it, from the technical filmmaking, storytelling, and working with impact partners side, to the processes, the emotional processes that happen behind the scenes. Okay, that's a lot of talking. I'm so happy that you have stayed on and you're still watching this. Thank you very much. I think, in summary, is that um, this right here, this is my third vlog. I'm still very raw and new to the whole YouTube thing. Even though I've been watching and studying it for so long, actually now putting it out there, I want to say that it's an exploration, and I know it's going to take time, and I probably think there'll be only a few of you that have watched this far, but it doesn't matter. I think for me is just experiencing, practicing, keep being consistent, no matter what happens, just keep showing up. There's a really great quote by, I think it was Woody Allen, that says 80% of success is showing up. So I'm showing up. I'm showing up right now and just putting myself out there, seeing what works, what doesn't work, what you guys resonate with, and just keep pivoting or keep shifting or keep evolving, until we hit that spot where things become stable and they work, and it becomes more of a template and it'll be easier on both sides, I guess. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I can't wait to continue the process and see how this goes. And I will see you in the next one.